So, from our library visit, I feel like I gained a lot of a better understanding of how exactly to use and find the resources that the library has available to us. Like the library guide was talking about, we have access to a lot of information for free that most people have to pay for. So, I just think that overall, that's really beneficial for this project, any future projects. I found that very interesting. So, prior to this visit, I really had no idea how to find resources in the library. Was kind of afraid of it a little bit, but now I feel like I have a better understanding of how to find resources. And I think that, especially for this project, something so big, I was able to find, I ended up only going with one thing that I found while I was looking through the library catalog. But, I'm one of those people who I usually just Google things and assume that whatever Google has is good enough. But I feel like that the library had more specific, um, like, texts available to me. Um, so it's more there, and they're more credible too. So I was able to find a more audience specific book for to use for my final project. It's called Finding Feminism, and it focuses on the millennial take or the millennial generation's feminism. So I just feel like that'll be really helpful to kind of show my audience that feminism still is around, it's still a thing, and it's still very important for us to keep pushing. So for my final project, I'm writing a journalistic style article targeted for an audience of millennial girls, girls like 16 to 25-ish years old primarily. So I personally fit in that category too. So, I had asked myself for my final project proposal questions that I genuinely cared about answering. So I feel like this book will help me do that. So I was gonna define in my final project, going to define a few different terms of feminism, put them in conversation with some of the texts that we read in class, and this book actually goes into firsthand accounts of feminism, just millennials getting involved in feminism. So I just think that it'll be useful for my audience to see, like these different types of feminism are affecting and, going into play into real life situations. They're affecting real lives for all kinds of young women. And another thing that this book made me think of is that, kind of how to get involved in feminism or how to kind of raise awareness. So it's like millennials are really taking on social media, and I know personally that's kind of what I do too. I get a lot of my information from, social medias, and I always am trying to raise awareness for different types of things through social medias. So I just think that in my article for my final project, bringing that up, like how to get involved, would also be very useful. So without our library visit, I wouldn't have even thought of that, and I think that'll help bring in some more like real life, like how to get involved, how to kind of use your voice for good kind of thing. I didn't really think of that before, so without our library visit, I wouldn't have thought of that at all. So I really do think that the library visit was beneficial for me to find this extremely useful source and figure out exactly how to use the library and not be so intimidated by it.